Oh, hey, what up, fish peeps? Good to see everybody. Hey, we got Cecil. Yeah, caught me in a little bit of work. Got a lot of work going on around here. We got Hydrophonic. Good to see you. Cecil and Hydrophonic and Brant come in. Jim's Fish. Hey, buddy. Got a lot to talk about. A lot of changes. As you can see, the fish room is a mess. And if you notice, a little bit of a different view. Let me know if the AV is good. Hello to you. I have a little fan blowing on me too. There's Laura, a wonderful moderator. She should be getting paid for what she does. Hey, everyone. Got work to do for the show tomorrow, but wanted to say hello and hit that button. Glad you stopped in. Let us know, Laura. Appreciate you. And there's Janice, another wonderful moderator that needs to be paid for what she does. Certainly enjoying getting back into these Tank and Tuesday live streams. So, yes, got a lot to talk about. This live stream and my Hour of Power live stream on Saturday morning is going to go kind of hand in hand with this change. I'm not going to talk about everything on this stream because I got to save something for Saturday morning as well. But they are two different subjects. But we'll go ahead and get started. If you haven't noticed, a little bit of a different view from my normal streams. That is because I had to make my fish room smaller. Basically, what you're seeing here, you can't see all the tanks, but basically what you can see in this camera view is now the fish room. So at my house, I have a single stall garage, but it has like a bump out. I call it a bump out. It has this extra space off to the side. A lot of houses in this plan have the same footprint of this house. And when we were first looking at houses, I noticed some people turned that bump out into an extra room for the house. And so I didn't do that. Historically, I use my garage for a garage. I like having my tools in here. I like parking my garage in the car, my car in the garage, and that's what we did. However, we had to make some changes, as you're all aware of. But I had to change it again. So my garage, my fish room is now smaller because I had to build a wall. To my right over here was the bump out where I sat and had a desk. I had my 55-gallon Tiger Barb tank always on this side of me, and then I had a stand with all my small tanks lined up. You've seen it in my videos. That's all gone. I shut down all my small tanks, as I discussed before, and something I wanted to do anyway. I want to get away from the small tanks. I did keep the 20-gallon longs. That's just an aquarium I can't get rid of. I love the footprint of a 20-gallon long. The one is still running, which houses my betas and shrimp. But the other one is shut down, but I kept it. So now the smallest tank I have is a 20-gallon long still, but then the 29, a 30, and then it's 55 and up from there. I'll continue in a second here. Get caught up on chat. Sister came in. Hey, Tara, good to see you. How was the first day of work Monday? She recently switched jobs. Oh, that big tank's still here, Brent. You can see it. It's right there. It's still in its home. It's got its spot. It is a one-stall garage. I call it small, but I'm using an entire one-stall garage for a fish room. So I got quite a bit of tanks, and most of them are big, including the 300-gallon here right beside me. And which, as we go on, I'll explain more of the changes. Everyone's just saying hello here. Hey, Raisin, good to see you. I still want to call you Razin. There's Mike B. Good to see you, buddy. The intro to this live stream was made by Mike B himself. He made that for me. Did a good job. I like that intro. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you, Tim. So, having said what I said, a lot of changes had to be done because originally I had my fish room in my dining room. You all know I had to move my fish room to my garage because I had to turn the dining room into a bedroom because my father-in-law is going to be staying with us like 3 to 6 months out of the year. We needed to make a room for him. I have a 3-bedroom house, but that 1 bedroom is taken up by a bird. Well, we got to thinking. We put our dining room table in our kitchen so we could eat because we were preparing to turn that dining room into a bedroom. However, as time went on, we're sitting there cramped. We got an island in the kitchen. We got a kitchen. Now we moved our dining room table in there. What are we going to do for birthdays, holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmases? People come over. We're not all going to fit. We're not going to. So I got to thinking. I said, this is silly. I don't think one man needs a dining room of that size. That dining room is very big. What do you do in a bedroom? You sleep in there. You watch TV. Where you can hang your hat, closet, right? That's all you're in there doing for a short amount of time at night. So why are we monopolizing an entire dining room for that? No. So I have to take the 3rd bedroom where we had one of our birds. We're going to move him into there. So we'll get our dining room back, which prompted making this wall. So I'm turning that bump out into the garage into a bird room. In 2 days, I built the wall. Excuse me, in 2 days, I got my tanks out of there, my desk out of there, my computer, my streaming equipment, everything, and built a wall. The next day, I started covering the wall. Now today, we got some flooring to put some flooring down there because it's going to look real nice. Going to do a good job, and that's going to look like another part of the house in there. So now the bird is going to have its own room next to me, off to the fish room, which made my fish room smaller. And basically, like I said, you could pretty much see the fish room. 300 here, 2 125s on that wall, 125 all the way on that back wall. And right here in the center island behind me, there's a 55-gallon right behind me, which is my grow out tank for 3 Oscars. Then there's 2 75s running this way, and then on the other side of them 75s is I think it's a 60-gallon tall. And then, of course, I have a 55-gallon Tiger Barb tank over here that was in that stream area. And that's the Petco tank, grow out for my angelfish. And the 29 gallons over here as well. And right now, my little 20-gallon long's in the living room till I can get ready and cleaned up because this place is a mess because of all the work going on in this room beside me. A lot of work going on. It's a mess. Crap laying everywhere, tools laying everywhere. I hate it. It's driving me crazy. But that's the changes in the fish room. But I got some more things to discuss. Goes hand in hand with that. Let's get caught up on chat a little bit. No, thank you, Laura. And Mike, I see something from Mike here. He said, thank you. No, thank you, buddy. You did a good job with that. I really like it. So we got some weather. What's going on? You guys got some weather going on? Yeah, the rain. Same here. Gotcha. So now, although you think I'd be disappointed that my fish room got a little bit smaller, but I'm really not. Surprisingly, I'm not. I'm happy with the amount of aquariums I have. I really don't have plans to get any more. All I want to focus on is getting my 300-gallon fixed, and I'm going to be a happy camper. It's all I need. And what I have found, and I knew this before I made the change, it's going to be a lot easier to do maintenance. That 55-gallon Tiger Barb tank was behind my desk where I was streaming at. So anytime I wanted to do a water change in there, now I'm draping hoses over the streaming equipment to reach it. The little tanks weren't a pain in the butt because two of them were dirted natural aquariums. I just topped those off. The other ones were so small and well established, never had any problems out of them, just topping them off right. But it's less tanks to worry about. I got all my tanks that I want, my big tanks in one space. It's going to be much easier to maintain, less tanks to fuss about, and I think I'm going to be pretty happy with what I got here. Been doing painting. I'm painting stands, painting wood. Once the flooring's laid down in this room, I can then go ahead and put my walls, my what did we get for it? And that's the thing when you're dealing with birds. When you're dealing with birds, everything's just a little bit harder. If you're keeping birds, you need to understand that they got very sensitive respiratory systems. You have to be careful with what you use. A lot of these birds will chew things. They'll chew drywall, and drywall is toxic to birds. Um, you gotta be careful what paint you use on walls. If you're doing something in the house like painting, you absolutely have to have 100% zero VOC free paint. You can't have fumes. But who wants to deal with fumes anyways? But so with the paneling I'm putting up on this wall, we tried a couple different things. They make this little plastic sheeting. We got it, we put it up, wasn't happy with it, but I left it up because we'll just call that like another layer of insulation, if you will. But we went with what's called a eucalyptus board, and I've used eucalyptus board in the past. You can make fake shiplap with it. Just cut strips, liquid nail it on the wall, and it makes nice looking shiplap. That stuff is safe for birds. So that's what we're going to put up on the wall. I got a transition strip to cover the seam. And as soon as the flooring's done, all I have to do is put that on the wall. And then we're ready to, I believe, we're ready to go ahead and bring her out. And then we can start setting that third bedroom up. I had, we had to buy a door because I moved the door that led out to the garage, which is in that room, as the door for this wall. So we bought another interior door to replace it. Just a lot of work getting things set up. This last 6 months has been a lot of work, a lot of things going on. I can't wait till it's all said and done and I can sit down and relax. This fish room's a mess. Like I said, I got tools everywhere. I'm tripping on crap. I want to get things cleaned up and get things back to normal. So we're all waiting until we can get things back to normal. Not too bad. It's supposed to start raining tomorrow. So you got some kind of storm coming or something. Charles Hammett coming over from Facebook. Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping in and saying hello. Hey, Shirley. Good to see you. Jess says desperately need rain in mass. We're having brush fires and red flag warnings. Hey, Janice, we're going to say ash hole. Pardon the pun. Purposely started a fire. Oh, no. In that case, he isn't. I can't say it when I'm on time. I got to be careful. But I got you. And you're right. Hey, 3G. Good to see you, buddy. So, yeah, lots of changes, but we're getting there. One thing I have found, now I'm not an old man, but I am 42 years old. I'll be 43 in March. I've always been a very impatient, high RPM kind of dude. Everything I do, I want to get it done, and I want to get it done now. And my mind still wants to do that, but my body is saying, ho, ho, ho. Just in the work I've done in the last few days, I'm hurting. I got plantar fasciitis in my left heel. I got tendonitis right here in this elbow. I got arthritis in my lower and middle back. So when I still push myself hard and fast to do things, but I'm finding that I'm paying for it a lot more now. Guys like Cecil in here wouldn't understand. He's a young man. All these guys, yeah, they're just young. I mean, when you get to be my age, you'll understand. But Shirley says, I'm turning my apartment into a fish room. I feel I got my rack built in the bedroom. Okay, very cool. Yeah, you definitely are. You got a lot of tanks in the apartment, Shirley. That's for sure. Absolutely. Talisa, I think we all know Talisa. She moved from a house to an apartment, and she wanted to have some more tanks, but her landlord would only let her have one. So she's probably a little. I don't know if she's jealous, but she's probably a little jealous that she can have more tanks in an apartment than she can. Know how I feel? Yeah, it's just, I mean, I like I say, I'm not an old man, but everybody's different. Everybody's built different. For a long time, never had any issues, but things hurt now, and I just freaking keep pushing myself to the point. At the end of the day, I look like Jerome Bettis in the morning getting out of bed. Like, oh God, she rolled. This is my sister. Nobody knows, and she's 3 years older than me, so don't listen to that crap. Oh, cool, Tara. I see that you created an avatar finally instead of just the generic YouTube thing. You put your kitty. Tara's a big cat person, and that's cool. That's a really good picture too. I like that. That's cute. Glad you. I'm glad you did that. Tim says I got back problems and worn out knees, right? And so our minds want to go, but our body's like ho ho ho. Your apartment is already a fish room. Do you use arthritis? Our sport should be. I've been. My sister's been telling me to do that hydro. I don't. Um, I don't. I need to do that. Get the actual plantar fasciitis, Dr. Scholl's soles. I do need to do that. It'll probably help because I mean my doctor straight up told me there's nothing that you can do to help plantar fasciitis when you have it. All you can do is stretch it in the morning, which I stretch this thing a lot. But in the mornings or after I get out from driving in a vehicle, is when it was hurting the most. Now it's getting to the point where it's hurting all the time. I can just be sitting down and I'll get a sharp jab in pain. I have that same sharp jab. I can be standing there with my back and all of a sudden I go, ow, get them sharp pains. So it's like I'm going to have to learn to calm my mind down. People have been telling me for years. I still haven't found that switch. Um, but it's just going to happen. I'm going to be forced to do it. My body's saying, you're not doing this. I didn't tell my landlord. Oh, God, I hope he doesn't make you shut him down if he catches you. Just you're still young, but Cecil, yeah, Cecil's like 24. All right, you don't even know. Same here. Your channel started out with cat videos. Cool. Shirley will be 42 on the 24th, and I got several physical issues. Everybody's built different. I also have Crohn's disease. Got diagnosed with that in 2010. I've been fine ever since. Since I got on Humira for that, it keeps it at bay. But now because of that, I have to go to colonoscopies. It was every 5 years, but now they are upping it to every 2 years. So the only good thing about that is men, they say in their 40s, I think they up that to 36. They recommend getting a colonoscopy every once a year or something like that, or every 5 years or something to get a checkup, make sure you're good. I had that problem because I have to go every two years because of that, and I'm due. I got to schedule and go now, and I hate that process. And the Crohn's disease doesn't help. That can give you joint pain and all kind of other stuff. Tim's turning 38 this month. Very cool. Very cool. Happy birthday then, Tim. What day? My daughter's birthday is November 14th. Your breath is really. I have a fan blowing on me, Tara. Do you hear the fan? Let me. I'm hot. I've always been hot blooded. I turned the fan off. Let me know if that helps. Yeah. Darn, you youngins are falling apart. Yeah. Well, I wasn't kind to myself either when I was young. I was always throwing myself around. We lifted weights to see who was the strongest, not lifting right. So my shoulders hurt because of that now. Just trying to be tough guys when we were younger. Rode four wheelers, that bangs you around. Just did a lot of stupid stuff when I was younger. 100-pound acetylene tanks, working in industrial plants. If the dang elevator was taking too long or it was being used or held up, I would throw that thing on my shoulder and walk up. At that place had 4 or 5 flights of steps, crap like that, and, that I would do because of my impatience. So I I wasn't easy on my body, even store bought. Yeah, you're right. I got to do that. Get the yes, I got to get the insoles. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I got to do that, Cecil. Hey, Coral, how many sponge filters can you run off that? Oh, you noticed the compressor, huh? I've had a thing for years. I don't run my sponge filters. That compressor I use for actually what it's for, airing up tires, running air tools. I do have sponge. By shutting down my small tanks, I took all those sponge filters and put them in existing aquariums to keep them going. I always like to have sponge filters running. I would imagine you could run quite a few um, little sponge filters off that air compressor, but it's something I never thought would be a good idea. It is electric, it's not gas. Um, here's the thing about air compressors. When you're running air compressors, every once in a while you got to drain the water out of the bottom. And when that water comes out, it's rusty and it's brown and it stinks. If that thing was on all the time, every day, when the water got so low, and the water would get low, because if I was running 8 sponge filters, so pulling the air from that thing would be kicking on and off all day. The electric bill would go up. I heard of people using air compressors to do that. I just don't know if I never thought it to be a very efficient idea. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Like cat, or is that code? Cat. What you mean 3G? That's pretty just started here. It's all good, Janice. Appreciate you. 24 plus 42. Young man, you're just a young buck. 17th. I don't know why I said. You know why I said the 14th is because that's my anniversary with the job I'm at. I'll be my 8 years at my current job. That's stuck in my head because it's right there. Yeah, November 17th, Tim. Thanksgiving week. Okay. Hydra says, I'm 29. I'm really good at it. I've been 29 for decades. Cecil, I have to do it too, Jesse. Do you? You have to do what? Oh, you talking about the insoles? You got plantar fasciitis? Craig Donegar coming in from Facebook again. Good to see you, buddy. Uh-oh. 240 loves to come in and throw a wrench in the spokes. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, who's winning? Trump winning? I would talk more about that stuff, but I feel like on my channel, I like to hang out with you guys and talk about it. I think people get sick of it. I think people get tired of talking about politics and everything. I'm tired of hearing about these two. But I think people get sick of it, and sometimes people come online. They like to get a reprieve from it and talk about something else. So I'm not worried about making somebody mad, but I do like to give people something else to watch and get their minds off the daily crap that keeps getting shoved down our throats week after week. It's everywhere. But can always count on Shamu. There's Janice saying hello. Dang, y'all make me feel really old. In 2 months, I hit 65. Yeah, see, that's Raisin is another one. He's a young buck. Um, he wouldn't know nothing about aches and pains and things like that. He's just a young buck. I think Cecil's 24, and I believe Raisin's about 32. Is I believe what it is. Yeah, see right here. I'm 26, so I'm officially a senior citizen with random back and three in knee pains. It's 26. When I was 26, I had no pains. Shamu's always fun and another great moderator, member of the channel. Doing great. A little nervous about tonight. What are you nervous about? What you worried about? I say you'd still need an oil filter between the pump and filters. Yeah, that makes sense, Cora. Yeah, because some of that oil does pass through, and also you do with air compressors get a certain amount of water and moisture that comes through. I don't know if this has uh, an air dryer on it or not, but I don't get a lot of moisture out of it. No politics, Shamu. Stop it. Tara, you and 240 would get along good. I call Shamu 240 because he has one aquarium and it's a big old 240-gallon aquarium and it's absolutely beautiful. You need a fan. You gotta subscribe to his channel and check that out. He's got a beautiful tank. All of us have beautiful tanks in here, but he did a very, very good job on that. And he's funny. He's got our humor. Yeah, what did we miss, Brandon? What are you nervous about? You wouldn't want to. It's not the right kind of pie. I agree, Coro. And it's good to see you, Coro. And this is why I like doing the second one on Tuesdays because I get a different crowd in here. Dawn, Dad, Dawn, Dawn, Dad, on. Good to see you. Good evening to you. I'm brain right now. Fall asleep, so I'm still fell asleep, so I'm still fuzzy. Just waking up. I am, yeah, but my mind, my body tells me no. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Atkins, good to see you, buddy. The linear piston or potentially a recirculating blower for the low pressure tests like this. I would love to try one of those linear piston pumps. I hear great things. They last longer. They're more efficient and more powerful, from what I understand. So if you're going to have a fish room that runs all air, these linear pumps are the way to go. You're going to pay some money for them, but in the end, it's worth it. Yeah, I've done some research on those things, and I've seen some people using them. They're really nice. No, the butt check. I don't know how to spell word. No, the butt check. I don't know how to spell the word. The butt check. You got me on that. What you mean, Cecil? Oh, if you're talking about the election, Shamu, it's probably going to take a week or two. Do you know who actually wins? I would love to be 24 again. Yeah, and salient feathers. This is my wife. For anybody who doesn't know, a lot of you do. She's real young too. She tries to act like she's in her 80s, but she's every bit of 36. It all started when I was 22. Hey Dan, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. Good to see you. Whoop, 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 whoop. Man, the myth, the legend coming over. It's very rare to have this man come in your live stream, so I always feel honored when he comes in. So he must like me a little bit. But it's the best type of comedy I have at the Thanksgiving dinner table. I do got to get another red tail shark. I got to. Mine got chewed up in a little tiny power head. I have no clue how it got in there. So we already know you voted for Trump. I mean, it's only the right thing to do. I need a good pump. I got 4 small industrial pumps to run the filters on all 24 tanks. You definitely want to look into what Cora was talking about, Shirley. Those linear pumps, those they're amazing. Oh, okay, I got you, Cecil. Webb's Aquatics. It's 1 a.m. in the UK, staying up to watch your live. Webbs, appreciate you, dude. You don't have to do that, man. When I'm tired, I'm tired. I like to go to sleep, but even if you stay on for a little bit, I appreciate it. Uh, Good to see you in here. I don't know if I spelled that right. I don't know. I'll be 36. So you talking about the buttocks? We could talk about it off the tube, Shamu. There's Jose coming in. Good to see you. Good evening to you. Any advice for clown loaches? Clown loaches are a great fish. It's something I always wanted to keep. I even had 2 or 3 at one time, but I ended up taking them back. Um, Clown loaches you can definitely have, but if you're going to try to keep them for life, understand they are slow growers, but these fish get big. They can get up to a foot long, and they recommend keeping them in at least schools of 4 to 5, so they're happy. They can get depressed when they're by themselves. We all know fish like that, like koi cats, can share that same attribute. But you're definitely going to want to think about long term if you're keeping them for long term, because they do get big, and you're going to want to keep about 4 to 5 of them if you really want them to be happy in their own little school. The size of an aquarium you would need to keep 4 to 5 loaches would have to be anywhere upwards of a 5 to 800 gallon aquarium. Is that even big enough for 4 to 5? I think they can get up to 2 feet. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1 to 2 foot long fish, but they're great looking fish, but they are slow growers. But just keep in mind that they do get big, and you're going to need to be able to house them. Try finding red tail shark, rainbow shark. That's already a decent size, 3 to 5 inches. I see them. Tara, Shamu here is the red tail shark expert. He loves them. And it's funny because to the point of I was googling about them not too long ago, and what's the first video that came up on red tail sharks? This guy right here. His video was the first one to pop up because it got a lot of views, and when something gets a lot of views on it, they tend to favor those videos. And so this is the red tail shark expert right here. All right, I can appreciate you, buddy. Be safe. Coolie loaches, even though I rarely see them, exactly, Hydra. I had some coolie loaches, had 2 of them, and you're exactly right. Much like the clown or the clown pleco, man, they're truly you never see them, and they just disappeared. They died off, I think. But there are the coolie loaches are cool. I do have a golden dojo loach in the back 125 right there. He's in there, and you talk about a personality. I love the personality of the loaches, the golden dojo loach. They do some funny stuff. He actually got his head. I had this little terracotta pot, like a tiny baby one, and he got his head stuck in it. Luckily, as I was able to get him out with minimal damage, and I put Seachem's stress guard in there, and it fixed him right up. Avoid. Let me know if you guys can still hear me there. Avoid getting an already fully grown 6 inch if you can. You'll be really sad that fish turns out to be already old and dies on you in a year. 3 to 5 inches is the best. How long do they live, Shamu? 5, 6 years? How warm would you say? Now, I have researched these, and I heard. Now, this is all fish can adapt. Um, if you give the fish time, they will adapt to your water and they will be just fine. But there are certain fish out there that do require warmer temperatures. And from what I've heard and what I have read, and I've talked about this to other YouTubers and people, and they said they've never heard of this, but I heard that you need to keep the water temperatures for the clown loaches the high 80s into the 90s. They like warmer water. Uh, if anyone in here can correct me on that, in all my research, that's what I've read. That they do like warmer water, but I'm pretty sure you could keep your water in that general tropical fish temperature, you know, 74, 78, 80 degrees and be just fine with them. But certain fish do like warmer water in order to keep their immune systems right and everything and fighting off disease. And from what I understand, the clown loach is one of those. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, they do grow very slow. That's but they get very big too. So I hope you have a tank big enough. If you're planning on keeping those clown loaches for long term, I hope you got a big tank or saving for one, buddy. Like I wanted a silver arowana. That was, that's one fish I've always wanted to get. And I was like, well, I got a 300 when I get it fixed. But honestly, I don't. Some people will keep arowanas and 125s and 150s and 240s and all that. But honestly, the silver arowanas get big. They get bigger than the Asian arowanas. Um, and I personally feel like this 300-gallon aquarium isn't even big enough for them because they don't only get long, they get girthy. It is a big fish. So I'm not going to get one now, just because I feel like I'd be doing it an injustice. I feel like you need an 800-gallon tank. I think Gordon over at Aquarium Talk TV has an Asian arowana, and he has it in about a 300 or 350-gallon aquarium, but they don't get big as the silvers. We can't get Asian arowanas over here. They're illegal. They live in Canada. They can have them. So, in my personal opinion, if you're going to get a silver arowana, I don't think you should keep it in anything smaller than a 500-gallon aquarium. They get big. They get bigger than the loaches. Started with sick, but I seen some littles, so who knows? I got you. Yeah, red tail. Tara had when Tara kept an aquarium, she had what, four of them, I think. Hey, Craig, good to see you, buddy. Plecos are just animatronic tails. Yeah, I love plecos though. Some people don't like them. I love my plecos. It's my channel icon, as you can see. That was my first, and that one of my icon he was a monster. He was big. There's something about them. I got two more of them. I've always liked the pleco, and I like the common plecos. I don't. I had a bristle nose. I had tried the clowns, the rubber lips. The common pleco is my favorite. I just like the way they look. And once this 300 fixed, that's going to be his new home too. I started with three coolie loaches, never saw them. Got four more for a total of seven, and they started going everywhere. Oh, that's cool, Shirley. I had two, and they just died off and disappeared eventually. But they're very cool. I like how they dig around and watching them's fun when you do see them. Little wiggle butts, yeah, wiggle butts. There's Robert Steiger. Hey, buddy, good to see you, another channel member. And appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. I am going to throw out my channel member shout out video too here before too long. They typically live 5 to 7 years. I had one live for 3 months, shy of 9. 3 months shy of 9 years. Okay, very cool. Well, that's the same thing they said, and I actually talked about Dan. Dan Everyday Fish Keeping about this. I asked a question. I said when I first got that loach, I don't know if he remembers, but I said, "Hey, they say they live about 6 years old." And that guy was 6 years old when I got him. So I said, oh, he probably going to live too much longer. And Dan said, you know what? That's relative to each situation, any situation, because a lot of these fish get a timestamp on them, but has had several over the years go past it, much like a dog. Your general dog can live to be what, 14 years old? They got dogs out there older than that. So it's just genetics. Hey, P-Tech, good to see you. Good evening to you. Here we go. Clown loach, 74 to 86 degrees. Yeah, but they do like that warmer water. Hey, Jim, good to see you, buddy. How are you? Me and Jim were going back and forth talking today a little bit. I have a bristle nose and one common, and the common is my favorite. He's just a little over a foot long. Yes, same. Mine's a little over a foot myself. I got to measure him again. He's a bit over a foot, though, I know, but I got another one I rescued. I've talked about him in the past. I'm not sure what kind of common pleco it is. They both look a lot like the Snow King pleco. If you look up the Snow King pleco, that's exactly what both of these ones look like. But it could be a sailfin. I don't think it's a sailfin. A lot of them look very much alike, but I feel like I have two Snow King plecos, but I'm probably off on that. I'd absolutely love to get one of them golden nuggets and one of them zebra plecos. My ridiculously expensive local fish store has one each of them. Well, they did. I don't know if they do now. What are you talking about, pretty plecos? I'm doing good myself, Jim. Just got a mess in the fish room here. Discuss the changes. Just go ahead and send me an aquarium with all the trimmings for Christmas. I would not want to pay the shipping on that. Anytime I do a giveaway and I ship bags of food, just the bags of food, it's like $6 to $7 for a bag of food. I told you, Tara. I think because I think she wants to. She's tossing around. She would like to have an aquarium again, but I know that she doesn't want to have to get into all the water changes and this and that. And I told her what you need to do is get like a 20-gallon long, do a dirted natural tank, put about an inch of organic dirt, cap it with 3 inches of sand, lots of plants, fill it up, wait till it cycles. You're good to go. Just top offs, and you don't even need a filter. You could throw in a sponge filter with a pump for a little bit, just to help get things going. And you do want to keep the water turning because you don't want the water to go stagnant. But other than that, you don't have to worry about them. Get you some small fish, neon tetras, my favorite one, neon tetras, ember tetras, danios. Those danios are fun. I got a longfin danio, and my 29. Boy, is he energetic. He never stops. Oh hell, Jim! Oh Jim! Oh, can see. Oh, say, can you see? I just want to say I got some stuff to get done. Yeah, man, get that fish room done, Jim. We're all waiting for you to get that done, man. And we got to you got to get making some fish because I need some fish. You too, buddy. Oh, Talisa came in. Did I missed her? Hey, Talisa, good to see you. I just mentioned your name a little bit ago. Um, Shirley, mine of the Maven, has an apartment and she has 24, I think she said, 24 fish tanks in it. And I told her how you told us a story where you sold your house and moved into an apartment and your landlord only let you have one. Did you talk him into letting you have five more yet? True Zeburos are overpriced. They are overpriced. It's ridiculous. But the Golden Nugget is probably my favorite. I love the Golden Nugget Pleco. Yeah, they are awesome. Opinions on hang on the back filters. It's a good filter. I like them. Used them for years. They're tried and true, but they're not my favorite. I'm a fan of my canisters. My canister filters can run 6, 7 months, and I don't have to clean them. They hold a ton of media. You can customize it if you want to. I don't do anything special with them, but they do a fantastic job. They filter a lot of water. Hanging the back filters constantly, in my opinion, are always needing maintenance and cleaned. They're always clogging up, or the impeller's getting bound up by plant crap, or uh, you get it. I don't know. I just, I just not a fan of hanging the back filters anymore. They're great filters. They're just not for me, for my style, and what I like to do. I'm running some right now as backup. My favorite was the Aqua Clear 110s. Are they my favorite anymore? No. Every time the power goes out, you gotta prime it. Now they've come out with a newer version of the AC 110. They did make some improvements on them. From what I understand, they are a lot better. Um, I'm a big Fluval fan. I am running some Tetra Whisper over here. Get at Walmart pretty cheap, but they're noisy. Um, but again, a filter you have to prime. If you're going to get a hang on the back filter, I would suggest getting one where the pump's in the water. So if the power goes out or you have to unplug it to do something, you don't have to fill it up and prime it to get it running again. It'll just take back off. Another one of my favorite hang on the back filters is Aqueon's Quiet Whispers. They are super quiet. They're tanks, and my experience, they run forever. I love the Aqueon Quiet Flow series filters. I do not like Marineland's hanging the back filters. I think they're crap. The bio wheel is a joke. Um, and they're rattly and they're noisy. I don't know if you can hear that. That is a penguin behind me. I hate those filters. There's two of them here. One here running this 55-gallon Oscar grow out tank. My lights went out at 6:30, so they're not lit up right now. I apologize for that. But on my Saturday morning live streams, you'll see them. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the hanging the back filters anymore, but they work. They're tried and true. They're going to get you there. I just like my canister filters. All right, buddy, be safe driving. Jesse, did you miss changes? Did I miss? Yeah, I talked about that towards the beginning, P-Tag. Basically, what you see here is what you get now. My fish room got smaller where I was doing streams before. I have a single stall garage with a bump out. I call it a bump out. It's just like this extra space off to the garage. I had to build a wall. I put a wall up because I'm turning that space into a bird room. So I had to get rid of my desk where I stream. The 55-gallon Tiger Barb tank that was over there and that whole line of small tanks, they're gone. I shut them down. I wanted to shut the small tanks down anyways. And I moved everything over here into the main garage now. I have the smallest tank. I still have a 20-gallon long running with my betas with the Life with Pets tank divider. If you guys need to divide a tank for betas, get the Life with Pets tank divider. They're fantastic. They're great. They work really well. They're built well. They're awesome. I can't say enough about them things. They are fantastic. But other than that, I have a 29, a 30, and then everything's 55 and up. It's all in here because I have to move my birds. I'm making a bird room over there because we need the third bedroom where that bird currently is. So that's basically it in a nutshell. My fish room got smaller. It is a mess right now. As you can see, I got crap laying everywhere because I'm doing the work over there. I have, I think, less than 11 days to get this thing complete. And I got a lot done already. I already got the wall built. Ran an outlet over there. Lots of stuff. Now I'm putting my flooring down. Once the flooring's down, I can finish putting my wall panels up. And at that point, I believe we're pretty much good to go. 24 so far, working on 90-gallon bow front. Yeah, I saw that. That's a good question for you guys. The bow fronts. Never been a fan. I don't like the bow front aquarium. What's the allure? Can anybody tell me what the allure of a bow front aquarium is? It just because of the curve and it's different? It's something outside of your standard off the shelf aquarium, or am I missing something with these bow fronts? But that's just me. Wow, she's a great landlord. I haven't asked for a second one tank yet. Well, I already told you need to make a stand that you can hide it down there. He comes over, closes the doors, looks like nothing's there. Till the fish start barking. Then he's gonna know you got something. Jose, I have 4 golden nuggets, my favorite. Oh, Jose, nice. Go ahead. Well, you're across the pond. I think you're across the pond. Where? Maybe not. Go ahead and send me one. You have too many. Landlords Landlords in other people's cases, their families overthink fish tanks big time. They're just glass boxes of water. Yeah, they get scared. They feel like, oh, it's gonna burst. You're gonna have water all over the floor. Although it can happen, and it has. They do. They get a little over worried about it. But now, if you're on a second floor apartment or something like that, I can understand. Depending on the size of the aquarium, it is a lot of weight. But 20-gallon, 30-gallon, even 155-gallon aquarium on a second floor would be okay. Maybe you can go down below and check and just see which way the floor joists are running. Letter from the doc. So I'm assuming the letter from your doctor, Shirley, is because the tanks relax you. I'm assuming maybe helps anxiety. Yeah. This Branton guy has me thinking people were making typos on my name. Oh, well, I call you 240, so I don't have flood insurance. If they burst, I'm screwed. Oh boy. All you need is a bucket or a tote to pick your fish up and put them in, and then a shop vac will suck all that water right back up. Are you doing a live stream this Saturday? Yep, 9 a.m. The Hour Power live stream. I am going to do it. I have it scheduled. And then right after that live stream, I'm going to get right back to work on this room. $11 a month is worth getting. Move the first fish into my new fish room today. Nice, Branton. I do enjoy setting up fish rooms. Like, I'm enjoying this part of it. So I can't wait till I get that bird room done so I can get back in here and focus on organizing and getting things the way I want it. I have fun with that. Just like this wall I made. I'm not finishing this side of the wall. I'm leaving the studs exposed, and then I built in-wall shelving to hold a bunch of crap. You'll be seeing it. Yes, sir, P-Tag. Thank you, buddy. Another thing I had to do with these fish changes is obviously I don't have a desk for my streaming equipment. So I had to have something right now with the computer, my fan, headset, my holder for my headset, the keyboard, the mouse, the whole works, the camera I use to make videos and things like that. What I did was I can't have anything permanent because I am literally sitting in front of my roll-up garage door. That is the only space I have for my streaming and computer area now. If I have to go in and out this garage door for something, my streaming area desk can't be in the way. When I start working on this 300-gallon aquarium, I need the space where I'm sitting right here to work on it. Got to take that back glass off. Got to put the new one on. Got to reseal the tank. I have to build a frame under it. I have to use this space to do that. So I had to make a mobile streaming desk, a mobile computer desk. So what I did is I don't know if you guys seen it. I have that utility cart inspired by P-Tag, where I got all the Fish Fam stickers on. I just put me a big piece of plywood on top, and I'm good to go. Now all I have to do is unplug the internet cable, the Cat 5, unplug the extension cord that I have a holder on the cart for, and I can roll this whole thing out of the way. Unfortunately, it might fit down that aisle between them tanks. I can slide it right down out of the way, and I'm good to go. But as you can see, it's taller than my desk was, so I'm sitting lower. So I need to get a good office chair. I need an office chair. I like the ones at adjustable height, but I love to lean back. I like my chairs have to lean back. I like to put my feet up. Will your birds for and maybe in the fish room? No. Good question. So what we did is 2 4x sheets of panel. We put those up, but I didn't go all the way to the ceiling, and I didn't do it for a purpose because we got what's called galvanized. What is it called? They call it wire cloth or something like that. It's a galvanized. It's basically a metal screening with small squares, and we put that the rest of the way up to the ceiling. Our cockatiel, he flies free all day long. He hates going in his cage. The Quaker parrot, she likes being in her cage. She hangs out in her cage most of the time, but her door's open and she's free to come in and out of her cage anytime she wants, which she does. And that's the bird that's going in here. The one cockatiel is going to the cockatiel is going to stay where it is. Um, the Quaker parrot's coming out to this room, which is perfect because she really doesn't fly around a lot. She chooses to hang out and chill. But if she does decide to fly around, she's contained in that room. We did not want her flying around this garage just because we didn't want her to get hurt. Number one, like I said, I'm sitting in front of my garage door and it's got the metal tracks, and they use what's called the names escape me right now. They use those L brackets with holes. What's construction something? I can't remember the name of it, but that's what they use to hang and level the tracks with. The corners of them things are always sharp where they cut them. Um, so she cannot get into this side. She cannot fly around. It would be cool if we could do that because she would sit right here the whole time I'm streaming. I'd love to do that, and I would, but I'm too afraid of her flying off and hurting herself on something. And they poop all the time. Birds poop all the time. I don't want her pooping in my aquariums. I don't want her pooping all over my computer. So she'll be contained to that room. That was a good question, Talisa. I got my bow front for free, so I wasn't turning it down. I don't particularly like them. Yeah, I mean, you get a free tank, got a free tank, absolutely. And I mean, some of them are beautiful. I've seen some big bow front tanks. I just didn't know if there was something I was missing with them, or it's just because they're just something different. I hate Bowflex. I had one 36-gallon and I sold it. Bowflex 240. I personally take 46-gallon Bowfront over a 40 breeder. Yeah, why? Why is that? I mean, and I've never had one. Maybe if I got one and set it up, I'd be like, oh, that's why. These are pretty cool type thing. You never really know until you have something, so I really can't speak on it. Brenton says bow fronts were considered fancy, just like having a big bow front window in your house. Right. Not a fan of the bow front. Yeah, me either. Webb says I'm hopefully getting some clown loaches a few days, but I'm very nervous about them. Getting ick. Any advice? The tank. Getting ick. Any advice? The tank is 155 gallons. I've had them before, and they get it so easily. Well, I mean that can be said for cichlids, right? Um, Me personally, I think I think webs. If you're thinking about it to the point where it's making you nervous, you have a good potential of creating the problem. What I mean by that is if you're going to be nervous to the point about ick or anything, you think about it too much. You think about it to the point where you start taking steps and fixing things that aren't broken. My opinion, relax. You've had them before. If you get ick, there's several ways to combat it. I just learned a new way to combat it from Happy Place, Jim. Turn the heat up, and he uses rock salt. I've never used rock salt, but it works, and it's safe for the fish. Anytime I had ick, obviously, if you can beat it a more natural way, do it. Turn the heat up, add salt. Because here's what happens when the ick forms on the body and you turn the heat up, it's not until they fall off the fish and go to the bottom of the aquarium where they can die off. Ick X, I always have Ick X on hand. But again, meds, chemicals. If you can just get away with turning the heat up, if you get it, which keeping loaches, if you keep the heat at a higher degree, such as the 86 to 90 degrees, I wouldn't imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, that it's going to grow real well in the first place. Depending what other fish you might have in there with your clown loaches, maybe you can't get away with having it to almost 90 degrees. I don't know. But fish are very adaptive. So if you got the warmer water, it really shouldn't have a chance to grow. But if it does, first line of defense, get that salt in there. Make sure the water is warm. and it really shouldn't grow in the first place. But if it does, and maybe salt's not doing the trick, ICX, if you can get ICX, that's a good one. But don't worry about it. Relax your mind. If you're going to worry about it to the point you're going to create the problem just because you're focused on it too much, just relax. Fish are resilient. They will adapt to your water parameters. Don't chase pH. We don't want to chase pH. They will adapt to your pH. You're going to cause more harm trying to chase pH and keep it up, making it go up and down all the time than good. Leave it alone. Leave your fish alone. Relax. Less is best. I always say less is best. My mom uses the no more pets excuse, and I clap back, but the fish don't really count as pets. Yeah, they really they call them pets. I don't consider them pets. I like fish. I love watching my fish, obviously, but I don't hold them at the level as I hold a cat or a dog. If a fish dies in my fish room, I'm bummed out about it and I feel bad, but it does not ruin my day. If my dog dies, I got to take a week off work. Yes, the tanks are beneficial for my mental health. I have a few issues that they really help. Very good, Charlie. And I'm glad if it truly helps you. I'm assuming anxiety and maybe depression and things like that. My anxiety and mental health has improved a lot since I restarted fish caping. Helped me get over postpartum in the early 2000s. That's great. These are good stories. I always like hearing these. Same. I like to be different. Jose's not a fan. Um, Shirley talking to Hydro about the helping. Let me say, multiple tank syndrome isn't a negative for me. No, no, it isn't for me, but it is. I got to a point where I'm like, oh my god, the most tanks I've ever had at one point was 16. Now that I got rid of all them small tanks, I got four right there in the center, three 125s. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and when the 300 gallons fixed, 11, and I do have a 20 guy. So there's 12 tanks running right now. When and well, 11 tanks running, 12 pretty soon with this 300. That's enough for me. We can't keep all the fish in the world, and we want to, and that's where MTS comes from, right? Because you want to keep all the dang fish. There's lots of fish I want. When that 300 gets fixed, I already talked to Jim. I want some Severums. I'd love to have some Frontosias, but I'm going to move my big Oscars in here. There's three Oscars growing out in here. They're going to go. That big Pleco over here is going to go in there, and maybe something else that I can come up with. I haven't thought about putting a Bala shark, however you want to say it, in there, but I think they're a little bit too peaceful to be housed with the likes of an Oscars, especially the one I got. He's got a lot of attitude. 46 boyfriend is a little taller, so better for viewing. Okay. It's getting dark when I got off work now. High beams on because slow drivers. I got around. Okay, Dan, appreciate you, buddy. Be safe. See you tomorrow, Dan. Hey, Fish Face, good to see you. That's Mel. That's all right. A little bit of everything. We've been talking about a lot. Well, how often would you feed bloodworms? Dry. What kind of bloodworms? Frozen bloodworms or freeze dried? We can start. Mel's here. We can start. We can start. Mel's here. We can start. Mel. Hey, I made it to the bottom of the chat. So yes, we talked about the fish room changes a couple times. We've talked about my streaming setup and what I have to do. Downsizing tanks on Saturday, Hour Power live stream. We're going to discuss future plans. What's next? Um, and we're going to get into all that on Saturday's live streams. So it's kind of goes hand in hand with this one, but it's not the same thing. I'm glad you put that on there, Mel. Just keep in mind the Ninja games are on hold for now, just because if I keep doing giveaways, I'm never going to save up enough money to fix my 300. I need to save up about $700. I have to use the proceeds from my YouTube channel. I did hit my threshold for this month, but I was too late. YouTube pays you on the 23rd of every month. If you don't hit your $100 threshold by the 23rd, you have to wait to the next month on the 23rd to get it. So I have to wait till November 23rd to receive October's payment. That's how that works. Um, I think when I get that, I don't know how much I'll have, but it's still not going to be enough. So I have to wait until I save up enough money to fish that tank. So if I keep doing these, if I keep doing the gift cards, if I keep sending food, all that comes out of my PayPal. So I'm never going to be able to save up enough. So I got to put that on hold for a little bit. Once I get my glass ordered, once I get my silicone here, I can start fixing this thing and hope to God I do a good job, and I hope to God it holds. I love this aquarium. This 300-gallon is my dream tank. I finally got one. It's a bummer that the back corner cracked, but I'm just hoping going forward I fix it and I do a good job, and I'll have my dream tank. But so just wanted to let everybody know. uh, I got to hold off on the giveaways a little bit. Frozen bloodworms can be a controversial thing. Some people don't like to feed frozen foods because there is a potential of bacteria. I have frozen foods. I've fed frozen bloodworms. I've got frozen krill, super brine shrimp, and things like that. Um, I would feed my frozen bloodworms as a treat. I would put them in there maybe a couple times a month, and I've never had an issue. So, but that's up to you. It's your choice. There is no guide on how often you can feed them. Father Fish will tell you if you keep um, betas to feed them frozen bloodworms daily or every other day. It's good for them. They love it. It's healthy for them. But I don't. I was giving them to them as a treat. My fish. I'd go around and give it to them as a treat, maybe like a couple times a month. One, doing that, they last longer. They're frozen. You don't have to worry about them going bad. And two, you're not feeding them too much of anything. 'Cause too much of anything can be a bad thing, right? I need to get some more omega-1 blood, frozen, freeze-dried bloodworms, because all these fish love it. I'm not a fan of the vibrobites. I've noticed that they love the omega-1 freeze-dried bloodworms way more than the vibrobites. But I appreciate the stop time, Mel. Whenever you reach the bottom, make a bookmark. How do you make a bookmark? Last name of screw YouTube. I appreciate the motivation, Mel. Okay, Atkins, I'm glad you made it home safe, buddy. I never had an issue with frozen. I've heard freeze dried is worse. Oh, really? As it expands and lacks in nutrients lost to processing. So I've heard at least two. Okay, Mel, appreciate that. I've never heard that. So, and this is great. This is what we learn from each other. I've never heard that. I'll have to keep that in mind. Now that you mention that, I think maybe that's why I've had bloat in some of my tiger barbs and my betas. Maybe it's over the freeze dried. So there you go, Webs. You might be better off doing the frozen. Hey, we got the Hoggins in. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming. How are you? How you guys? Except the co-op freeze-dried tubiflex is supplemented with vitamins. Okay. Who else has those? Not Hikari. Doesn't Fluval make a freeze-dried bloodworms? Okay, appreciate it, Mal. Yeah, if you guys still want to do the stop signs, anytime I stop, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta get a coffee, or I gotta go do something, put a stop sign in the chat so I know where I left off. I turned that into the ninja games, but right now I can't do the giveaways. If you still want to do it, it's still very helpful. I appreciate it greatly. But that was the original purpose of the stop sign as bookmarks, so we know where to come back. Hikari frozen spirulina, brine shrimp, and blooded worms have been good to me. Yes, spirulina, what a great food. Love spirulina. Bug bites makes a wonderful spirulina. I used to keep on hand till I started getting Northfin Foods, although they don't. I don't think they have a spirulina flake, but they do have kelp flakes. But I do need to get a good spirulina flake. I did like Extreme Aquatics Community Crave, but I no longer Spartan Extreme Aquatics because the mentality of that company sickens me. I stopped feeding my fish Bites. They started losing color and less active. I stopped feeding and they're back normal. Well, that's an interesting experience for sharing them with us, Webbs. I appreciate that. And that's the first I've heard of that. So, this is an experience you had with your fish. So things like this is great. And that's why we do what we do here, share these kinds of stories, something to look out for. So thank you for that. That's why it's important to soak freeze-dried food before using them. See, I've never done that, Atkins, but I'll do it. So just soak it in some tank water would be what to do there. That would be possible, Jesse. Freeze-dried can cause bloat. Yeah, it makes sense, Mel. Because I haven't fed that in a long time, and I haven't had an issue with bloat in a long time. I I do have. I think I'm about to lose one of my female beta. She hasn't been doing good. I've tried Epsom salt and different things, and she just ain't looking good. If that happens, I can take that tank divider back out. my stiff, my fish love frozen blowbirds, but oh, yeah, tiny ones love vinegar eels. Ooh, that sounds good but bad. Vinegar eel. I love vinegar. But you're right. All my fish go crazy for the frozen bloodworms. I got that Sally's. I think it's Sally's frozen krill. It comes in a big sheet. Break that off, throw it in the tank. My freaking Oscars love that stuff. I'm glad you're doing good. That's great to hear, buddy. Yeah, he milks you guys for free. I wish he was still in here to see that. We're here because we like your content and you're nice. So I appreciate that, Hydro. I appreciate that. It's good. It's always good to get to that feedback because you never know how we just come on here and we show our face and we talk and we do different things. But so very rarely do we get a lot. I get a lot of feedback, so I appreciate that. If you watch the very beginning of my last two streams, I added some comedy in, which is something I always used to do there for a while in my videos. So if you rewatch the beginning of this video, you'll see a little bit of, or this live, you'll see a little bit of that comedy. Yeah, we've talked about that. I know that you soak your stuff in Vitachem, and I am a Vitachem guy. I keep it here. I wish I've tried so many times to get Boyd to sponsor me. I love Vitachem. My fish, I go around and I every Sunday, they get their dose of Vitachem. But Webs, and there's that too. I should talk if you're still here, Webs, something to consider. Get yourself some Vitachem. Um, Vitamins for fish once a week, proven to help fight off disease, right? Just like you and me, we need our vitamins. The more healthy you are, the less disease, less sickness you're going to get. Um, I rarely have problems with disease. I've had bloat, I've had to battle a few times. I've had iCloud. I was able to fix all that with Epsom salt baths, um, which, by the way, worked better than any pea, any raw garlic, and any med ever did. Um, but Vitachem, if you're really worried about ick, get that immune system strong in those fish. You get that Vitachem in there. It's going to make up for any nutrients and vitamins they might be lacking. And it's also vitamins for the plants. The plants will use Vitachem and help them grow as well. I don't never use. I don't. There's two ways you can put Vitachem in your water. You can just pump it directly in your water, or you can soak food in it. I don't do that. I just pump it directly in the water because you can see all the little sediments going everywhere and all the little grains. And the fish will actually come up and eat it, and they will also absorb it. So in my channel, I'm all about efficiency, making things easier, quicker, so you can spend more time enjoying your fish than working. Unless you want to work, there's plenty of things you can do in this hobby. But I found it more efficient just to pump it right in the aquarium, walk away, and it comes in a pump bottle. Very simple, and I think it's worth it because I rarely have any problems. Knock on wood. Of course, yes, it mix is very yes, yes. Tank water, it helps it not expand in their bellies. Okay, I'll remember that, Mel. That's good. So that's good. Or I just might as well just go get some more frozen stew at the same time. I soak them in Viacom. It's aminos and different vitamins lacking in most foods. Right, lacking in most foods. Yep, you got it. Atkins and I are both big Vitachem fans. I avoid freeze dried and bloodworms in general with beta. So really, so it's just amazing. And then you got Father Fish over there recommending it. It's like, and as with anything, you get so much conflicting advice, and I guess what it comes down to is just what works for you and your fish, and honing in your fish room, your tanks, your fish, and go with that experience. Right? You can be the smartest guy in the world, but nothing trumps experience. Yeah. Yes. Freeze dried insects and krill for my cichlids. Smiles. Well, time for Howard and I to watch Gordon Ramsay shows. Okay. Enjoy yourself. Appreciate you coming in, Hydro. Night Hydrophonic. Oh, Webbs comes in with a $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Webbs. You didn't have to do that. Um, all that's going to go straight to fixing this 300-gallon aquarium. So I can't thank you enough, buddy. Appreciate you. Uh, Very nice. I think it's the first time I got a E499. So you're the first UK guy or girl. I don't know, but if you're a man or a woman. But thank you either way. I certainly appreciate that. By feeding, I know the fish are getting the vitamins I'm putting in. Exactly. Yep. I love my Vitacam. Yes, I saw that. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you again. Fired up webs. My betas love bloodworms, but I feed them very sparingly to my betas. Okay. Yeah, maybe like one or two of them or something like that. I appreciate you, Webs. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Hey, Susan, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Always good to see Susan. Susan in the chat room as well. Yes, I hope you are well. Hope things are going good for you. Having said that, it's been an hour 20. I do have to get off. I got some things to tie up. I got two birds to go hang out for a little bit and put them to bed. I have to get. I got 5 o'clock in the morning. Comes quick. I have to get up and go to work, and then as soon as I get off work tomorrow, I got to start laying some floor. Because, like I said, I got to have this bird room completed in less than 11 days. So, what a great live stream! I really enjoy this. I'm enjoying doing 2 live streams a week and less videos. I'm having more fun talking with you guys and being one-on-one, as one-on-one as we can get, other than having someone come. And there will be times I will put the link out there, and you guys can come up and chat with me and share some tanks. But I'm going to head out. I certainly appreciate everybody. You guys be safe out there. I certainly appreciate your time. And Webbs came in with another $1.99. What are you doing, Webbs? You don't have to do that. Appreciate you, man. That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, thank you for coming in, Janice. Thanks for everybody for coming in. It is more fun doing live stream. Or that's an inside joke between me and my sister there. It is more fun doing live streams. And really, Susan, what can we do? You know, in my last stream, I talked about channel changes, and one of them was I'm going to do less videos and more live streams because there is nothing. There's hundreds of us doing this. It's very saturated. There's nothing that I can put out that I haven't already and that everybody else hasn't already that we can teach each other. But we can certainly answer questions on live streams, hang out, get into different topics. It is a lot more fun. So less videos. I do have a product that Higer sent me that I do have to finish doing a review on. I like it a lot, but with all this work going on, I haven't had a chance to really mess with it too much. So other than if Higer or somebody sends me something to do a review on, the videos are probably going this way, and we're up in the live streams. Plus, the live streams get you more watch time hours to help keep you monetized anyways. Yeah, I'm glad you come in too, Shirley. Thank you, Atkins. Oh, don't be thanking me. The pleasure's all on this side of the screen. See you, Talisa. Good to see you. Thanks for your time, Jesse. That sounds good, Webbs. And I love to answer questions and help anywhere I can. So don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you want to, maybe on Saturday we'll have some people come up. I'll put the link in the chat. Maybe you want to come up and we'll bring you up on panel and you can show us your tanks. Just let me know, buddy. Susan's back. Yeah, it's coming. I can't show it to you, or I would. I want to. Good night, Tara. I love you too. All right, guys, I'm out. Be safe. You're the best. You're what makes this fun. Oh, watch the. Oh, wait a minute. We got to do this real quick. I almost forgot. You got to watch this. Shout out to all my members. Never mind. I got to fix that. I got somebody to remove, and I got about 3 or 4 people to add. So let me fix that, and then we'll do it again. So sorry about that. You have a blessed night, too. Catch you guys later. Watch the very beginning of this live stream for some quick comedy.
Like this and like that and like this and like this.